What up, y'all? You rocking with Jiggy Jones. Today we have a special guest from New Era, Mark Maidment. Maidment?
Maidment, you got it right.
Mark
Yes, thank
Maidment.
you.
How are you, Mark?
I'm awesome, thank you. Great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
No, for sure, for sure. And first and foremost, Mark, can you just introduce yourself and your role at New Era?
Yeah, absolutely. So Mark Maidment, I'm the SVP of brand here at New Era in Buffalo. You'll tell from the accent, I'm not from Buffalo. I'm from London, England. Originally, I've been here 8 years, working for this incredible company. And yeah, I oversee all of the marketing collaborations and working with our ambassadors. So I'm a lucky human being.
No, definitely, definitely. Now talk about this collection, right? You know, New Era is no stranger to collaborations and releasing new collections. This FW24 collection, you know, I saw a lot of familiar faces, a lot of notable figures, influencers, people who have delved into the craft and have built huge brands for themselves. And now you guys decided to include them within this next launch. So talk about that and why this is the perfect timing for it.
Absolutely. So you'll probably know we worked with Nigel Sylvester on this as the key person, and Nigel's been a friend of the brand for many decades. And I was talking to him just 6 months or so ago about some other projects, and I was thinking about our NFL collection. It's a very cool collection, but it's got logos on the front, right? So people can often be like, "Well, that's for fans, just for fans." But being New Era, the logos we do are very premium. The fabrics are very premium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to Nigel about this. I'm like, it'd be amazing to style this product in a true lifestyle sense. Nigel's ears pricked up. He's like, I said, would you like you've got incredible style, Nigel, and particularly the last 2 or 3 years, I think he just looks phenomenal. So much that he's doing outside of BMXing, right? So I said, how would you like to style and run a whole photo shoot, bring in all your friends and our brand friends, and style up this product? Bless you, style up this product. His face just lit up. It was, and for those people who know or met Nigel, he's got an amazing face, right? And his eyes lit up. He couldn't have been more excited. I said, well, it's the fact that you're so excited means this is going to be amazing. It's going to work. So, of course, over a couple of months of planning, got a studio, turned up, the music's pumping. I walk in, Nigel's just buzzing. He's having a great time. And basically all his friends and our brand friends turned up. And if you see the imagery that we produced, what he produced, really, the way he styled it and the people he had there, it completely changed the way that product could look. And what was really interesting, right, so there was a moment, this was quite funny. So I walk up, and the stylist that was working with him is Dex Robinson. Mm-hmm. And Dex has got a massive pair of scissors in his hand. And Nigel's standing next to him, and he sees me, and he's looking, and he's like, are we good to cut some of this product? Are we good to play with it? I said, 100%. That's the whole point of this. It's about, our brand has stood for this for decades. Mm-hmm. It's about creativity, individuality, having fun. And off he went, and he started cutting some shorter, cutting sleeves off, doing some, not everything, of course. And you'll see from the imagery, he came up with this incredibly authentic, engaging, styled product with people, and you'll see it was up on a billboard in Times Square just this week. Looked incredible. So that whole experience with him and the fun and energy he brought was just phenomenal.
No, definitely. I think, you know, you kind of giving them the creative freedom to distress, you know, the merchandise and kind of, you know, let them do whatever they want. I feel like that. It's certainly, like you said, it was highlighted in the imagery, and you know, every artist or creative, you know, wants that freedom, right? I think that's something that they definitely want to protect when they partner up with a brand. And you know, salute to you guys for giving them that freedom. Now, were you familiar with any of the influencers or people that Nigel brought along, just as to
yeah, some of them were friends of the brand. So Dave East, has been a friend for the brand a long time. He was actually in one of my campaigns about 7 years ago, we did, which was called We Who Reign. We've met, we've worked with Tyrod in the past. But you know, some of the fresher faces that came in. I mean, honestly, it's tough because everyone was amazing, and we also had been working with Greg Una already on some headwear. So there was all sorts of relationships, but Was Good and Rain were particularly, we hadn't worked with them before, were amazing. And the photographer, Raven, was, and I've worked with a lot of photographers, I've been lucky, she was phenomenal. When people know each other, generally know each other, and some hadn't met, but most had, it creates a completely different vibe within the studio. The day goes very quickly. The way people look into the camera, the way people are standing, there's a whole, it's not just about being relaxed, there's an authenticity to it. And it was great that we had our brand friends, and some of them are crossover and some of them are new. So the whole thing was a complete melting pot. And, you know, it's Forever New York is the title of the project. And I'm sure we'll talk about it, but, you know, very few people represent New York as authentically as Nigel. And when we talk about the guerrilla marketing we did, and he takes it to the streets, it's the same thing with this shoot, right? It's all about authenticity, doing it properly. And everyone that was involved here was incredible in that way. So yeah, it was great to bring the whole melting pot of new era people that we already knew and friends of Nigel's.
No, definitely. Looking at the photos previously, you know, obviously, you know, big shout out to Raven B, renowned photographer. She's done a lot of incredible work throughout her career. But I see Scotty Beam here. I see Tyrod Taylor. Obviously mentioned Dave East. What makes this campaign, you know, different from previous? You know, what makes this unique? You know, every campaign kind of takes its own life. Every collection has its own life. What makes this one in particular stand out?
So it's a great question. I tell you what was amazing about the day. I normally go to shoots and I've got a hard agenda. There's certain things we work with the leagues, and there's certain things I need to boxes that I need to check. What was great about this one is I rolled up and I said, Nigel, there's no agenda here. This is creative freedom. The day is yours at whatever pace you want to go. I'm normally there going, okay, guys, it's a wrap on this shot. We've got to move on. None of that happened. And so although the campaigns we do when there's more of an agenda can still be very strong, it's just a different vibe comes across. And that's what's so different about this one. It was very fluid, and Nigel was, you know, he was great because he was jumping in himself. Suddenly, like, Nigel's in the shot. But it's not because of Nigel got an ego, in my opinion. Nigel was having fun, right? The tune was right, and suddenly he's bouncing around behind the person in the shot. So everything was just so kind of organic and natural and enjoyable. And that comes across in the shots. And like I said, we had no agenda. There was total creative freedom. So very much makes it a different looking aesthetic than what we normally do.
And why Nigel? You know, you could have chosen any, obviously, you know, he's
Yeah.
invested a lot of, you know, he's great at his craft as a BMX athlete. And you know, at the same time, he is a huge figure just in the community and culture. But why him specifically?
So we have had a relationship, you know, a proper friend, part of the New Era family relationship with Nigel. I've been friends for a decent amount of time. We love Nigel. We work with Nigel because Nigel's awesome to work with, and that's very important to us. We want people who, you know, he's dedicated to the brand. He's an authentic and dedicated 5950 wearer. He's a very authentic, natural person. He checks a lot of boxes of the people that we love to work with. He's very upfront. He's very honest. He's very creative. I love that we're taking him out of his trained skill set. You know, like he's not BMXing, it's not sport. He's being a stylist and a creator, and enabling that is, I think, is very inspiring to people to be like, you can step outside of what you are naturally good at and try other things. And he's actually very naturally good at this as well. So for all those reasons, it's a no-brainer. And the fact that he's very respectful and his eyes lit up when we talked about it, right? He's got great respect for the brand. He's always checking in with me. Am I good doing this? There's just a great relationship. So it's a no-brainer for that particular project. And we're going to continue to do cool projects with him going forward for sure.
No, definitely. I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing those projects coming to fruition. Now, of course, you spoke about the theme is Forever New York. Now, is this a springboard for other campaigns in other cities? Will we get a Forever Miami, Forever Philly, Forever Detroit, Forever LA? Is that in the works, or, you know, just?
I'll be honest, we haven't discussed the next iteration, but I love that idea that you just said. If we use it, you can't charge us for it.
I mean, at this point, let me know if I may have to patent it after this.
Well, you've got to be in one of these. You've got to be
Yeah.
patenting it, and you've got to be in it.
No, listen. I'm extremely photogenic. I take pictures all the time. Listen, Mark. Let me know. We can certainly set that up.
I'm serious. Let's do it. Let's get you in, man. It would be a lot of fun. But no, Nigel's incredibly busy, and I don't think he's thought yet. I think he's really enjoying this particular project because as I mentioned earlier, not only did we do the shoot, but Nigel, and this is classic Nigel, he connected with me and he said, "I want to take this to the streets." You know, I mean, like I said, if anyone's connected literally, physically, and psychologically to the streets, is Nigel. His bike is connected to the streets.
He's always outside. Yeah, right.
Everything about him, right, is so grassroots to the streets. So he said, "I want to take this out to the streets." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, I want to get 10 people. I want to style them in this product, and I want to walk the streets." I'm like, "Let's do it." And I was there, and I witnessed it. And what I love is all these people who are just hanging out in Soho on that day, of every age, ethnicity, you know, everything, just hanging out, getting really excited about seeing these 10 people walk down the street looking incredible on New York Fashion Week. And it just brought everyone together. To me, creativity and Nigel bring everyone together, completely egalitarian. And we had the most fun. What I didn't realize, he was like, "I want to walk for 45 minutes. I thought he was going to walk for like 10 minutes. We walked everywhere, and the cameras are going, and people, and everyone's asking, "What's going on?" I said, "It's just a celebration of style and identity, and the fact that we've taken this NFL product, which is awesome product, and put it into a completely new context. So you can be a fan, but you can look incredibly stylish at the same time." That was a very cool visual. So that again was his vision. And we walked all the way down to, I want to shout out to Saturday's football. So when I say football, it's soccer, okay? Because soccer in the UK is called football, right? So there's a store called Saturday's Football. The guy is awesome who owns it. It's all vintage jerseys. And, you know, there's a huge trend with soccer. And we walked all the way around and we ended there, and he let us use his store as a base. And yeah, so anyone who enjoys soccer stroke football, great place to go down. So we ended there, we hung out there. Yeah, the whole thing was like 2 or 3 hours of just hanging out literally in the streets. It was a lot of fun.
Amazing vibes out here. Amazing vibes. Now, I'm glad you brought up New York Fashion Week. Of course, we just wrapped that up recently. Just in the light of sports fashion, right? You know, a lot of these different, you know, Instagram pages, social media pages have, you know, gotten massive followings, documenting and creating content around athletes and what they wear. You know, the tunnel, NBA tunnel, NFL tunnel,
NHL, every tunnel, every sport.
every sports tunnel has now become a runway. What do you think about just the evolution of that? You know, like, you know, of course, back then we definitely paid attention to what, you know, our notable figures wore, especially athletes. But now I feel like with the height of social media, the height of content is king. It's at a different level. What do you think about just that evolution?
It's at a different level, and I think it is phenomenal. So I have been 30 years working in the fashion industry, personal passion of mine. Grew up trying to get sneak peeks of fashion shows. I used to sneak down to London Fashion Week and literally sneak behind security guards to get in to see. It was closed doors to everyone. And then, you know, you might see it in a magazine. There was no social media. I'm showing my age now, but there's no social media.
Yeah.
So I was like, this incredibly exciting world of expression through clothing. It's closed off. It's for the elite. And then there was music and street fashion. The whole thing's gelled together now. And I love, and we're lucky enough, we work with designers, we work with athletes, we work with musicians, artists. Everyone wants to be everyone else. It's amazing, right? Someone who's like the best in the world at their sport, but they want to be a designer. And the designer wants to be a musician. The musician wants to be an athlete. I love this melting pot. So for sports to have that red carpet runway before every game, I think is incredible. And some people have called me crazy. Sometimes that's more fun than the game. It's literally more exciting and more fun than the game. Depending on the game, you don't know, right? You don't know it until after the game, but you're like, actually, the most exciting thing in that game was what the guys were wearing when they were walking up. And the girls, by the way, WNBA, all of women's sport coming through is phenomenal. And these athletes that are expressing, and they are expressing it in such a extreme ways sometimes. I love how brave they're being, and it's opening the world's eyes and youth and kids' eyes to like, this is fun, fashion's fun, and I can express myself through clothing. I think everything about it is incredible and very positive.
No, certainly, certainly. I'm glad you brought up just that transition from stuff being just elite, or fashion shows being for the elite, and now there's such an intersection of so many different cultures and avenues, and a melting pot, like you said, that people are kind of coming together. Like the late great Virgil Abloh said, the greatest runway is on the street. So I think that
Absolutely.
in being able
The
to
excitement, the excitement those fashion weeks get there's people who are going out, they're not even going to the shows, but that particular week they're dressing it's more special, more experimental. It just inspires everyone in that moment. So you're absolutely right. It is that the streets are a catwalk, and I love everything about that.
Certainly, certainly. Now, what's next for New Era? I know you guys haven't necessarily thought about moving the campaign to different cities as of yet, but what's next, especially as we close the year? What are some goals
Yeah.
that you would like to hit, or maybe some
So,
collaboration?
of course, we're very, very excited with what we're going to do with Nigel going forward. We are fortunate enough to do lots of incredible collaborations. We just were part of the Off-White AC Milan collaboration. We do a ton of stuff with the team. So we're super lucky that we get to work with a load of different people. One of the big stories, and you may have seen it just launched last week, is we've launched a thing called Brand New Era. So we as a brand, obviously we're the official license for all the leagues and all the products, but we haven't done a ton on our own where it's just New Era on its own. So we had a year ago, Dao Yu Chow from Public School, who works with Nike, etc., who's an incredible talent, has come on board as a creative director for Brand New Era. And we're coming up with some really cool products, and also some amazing campaigns. We had a campaign last week. It was Friends and Family. We had West Side Gun in it, Spike Lee, Tyson Beckford, like all really cool names that have been connected with us forever. The product's amazing. It's live on our site right now, and we're really enjoying growing New Era as a brand in its own right, and we called it Brand New Era. So that's something to keep an eye out for. We're going to gain great momentum with that. So I'll be doing a lot with Nigel and other ambassadors. We have a lot of athletes, etc. So we have a ton going on. The energy around New Era, we've been very fortunate. The brand has been doing very well, and we're excited to keep the momentum growing. And we stand for creativity. We love working with people. We love working with designers and athletes and musicians who can come in and play with our products. We're all about creativity and how that brings people together. So we're going to continue doing. We like to disrupt, and we like to try and shock, and we like to make people really excited and mostly feel a part of what we do. We hear it a lot. People like, when I wear a New Era cap, I feel part of a community. And I'm this billboard on the front of my head. I can tell people who I support, what community I'm a part of. So we love that. We're going to continue doing that.
Certainly, and obviously, New Era has been a staple in fashion for so long, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon, Mark.
No, that's good to hear, and we'll do everything we can to, I say, keep people excited and interested and having fun, and we look forward to getting you in one of those campaigns right there, man.
Listen, I have this recorded, so it's it's on record. So I definitely look forward to it. So definitely look forward to it. You're based in Buffalo, New
I'm
York.
based in Buffalo. Buffalo, New York is the home of the brand. The brand's 104 years, coming up for 105 years old, which is incredible. Fourth generation owned, and it was started here in Buffalo. So that's why I moved here from London, England. People say I was crazy, but honestly, I've had the best time here. Amazing people in Buffalo, and I've been, of course, lots of travel, and yeah, it's a fantastic situation.
Oh, definitely. Well, Mark, I definitely appreciate your time. Definitely appreciate the conversation. Definitely looking forward to everything New Era does going forward. Look to be just more tapped in, and yeah, I can't wait to see what's next.
Thanks, man. I appreciate all that. Definitely stay in touch, stay connected. And if
Sure.
you ever want to talk again, we're here. And let's say, hopefully I'll see you in the flesh soon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Likewise. Appreciate it, Mark.
All right, man. Take care.